Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk about an approach I take pretty frequently to strength training that I don't think a lot of people often consider, doing a single exercise for an entire session. Here I've uploaded an edited live stream of me just performing deadlifts in a local gym for an hour. Outside of a little bit of handstand training for a few minutes at the end of the session, this was the only exercise I did on this particular day. I feel as though this form of training has a lot of benefits no matter what your level or goals are. When taking this approach to training, deadlifts, squats, bench press, or weighted pull-ups, those tend to be my general preferences, but this approach can be used with any exercise. I'll make a few points here. One, it's a very versatile style of training. As previously stated, this form of training has a lot of benefits no matter what your training persuasion is. Are you someone that has a hard time getting into the gym? Are you just feeling unmotivated on a particular day? Think about what your favorite exercise is or your least hated exercise if you're someone generally unmotivated to work out, and just focus on doing that exercise for your training session. The simplicity and focus can be a motivating factor for getting you into the gym on that particular day for a workout. Are you someone that's short on time? Taking this approach can be a no-brainer. Keeping things simple can easily hone your focus and keep you on your way. The intensity can be made higher by decreasing the amount of rest time between your sets, giving you good cardiovascular activity as well, allowing you to make your time during a workout very efficient. Pick the right exercise like a deadlift, and you can get a great compound neuromuscular stimulation, a cardio workout, and you can burn a ton of calories in the process, giving you a well-rounded workout for the day as a result. I've made programs for clients crunch for time that involve 20 to 30 minute sessions for several days a week, consisting of single exercises per day. When you take this approach, focusing on the most compound exercises is my suggestion, but depending on who you are, what your goals are, any exercise can suffice. Another point is, it's an optimal way to work on form for complex movements. Push-ups, handstands, handstand push-ups, deadlifts, squats, barbell bench presses, pull-ups, etc., etc. These are all very complex compound movements and or exercises that generally burn a ton of calories, can be very taxing on the musculature and nervous systems, and even the psychology of a person. With this in mind, there's little reason to not consider having sessions where you're practicing these movements in and of themselves. The benefits of these class of exercises go beyond the scope of this video and or article, but at least some of these should have a place in every strength training program as a result, in my opinion. Because the execution of these exercises can be so complex, there's something of an infinite staircase in terms of potential gains to be made in terms of performance. There's always a correction that you could be making here or a tweak that you could be making there that can boost your execution and your potential strength and hypertrophic gains. So why not just, make a session focusing on these exercises? In conclusion, this is just another example of how simple training can actually be. While variety is the spice of life and it benefits your strength training program, variety can come in many forms and many phases. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple. All right, now for a little bit of commentary here. This is the first time I've done 405 in literally years. My knees have been a limiting factor in being able to perform my deadlifts at a high level. So I know this isn't particularly impressive to a lot of people out there, especially in the YouTube community, but this is great for me. I'm glad to be able to be doing this weight again relatively pain-free. I've been doing a lot of work on my hip and ankle mobility the past few years that has really paid off in terms of my lower body capacity. So I'm hoping that I could regain some strength in this area and do much better than 405 in the near future. And if that doesn't happen, that's okay. It's all about the process, like I always stress. If you notice, a lot of the times, like right here, you see me kind of prepping to grip the bar. It looks kind of funny or weird. It's something I took from Larry Wheels, a famous power lifter on YouTube. He kind of just has this thing that people call dip, grip, and rip, which I stole from him. And he basically, when he's doing deadlifts, he just dips down, grips the bar, and does the rep. And that's something that I want to get good at doing, because especially when you start climbing up on weight on an exercise like this, you tend to get into your own head in terms of the perceived struggle that's coming. So I find that method, when you actually execute it properly, really helps, and it really works, but it takes a little bit of practice to be able to do that well when you get to heavier weights. Your deadlift form has to be on point. Another thing I want to stress is it's very important to try to record yourself whenever you can. I was very self-conscious about potentially uploading this at first because, again, it's been years since I've done 405 on a deadlift. So doing them didn't feel great. And I was thinking to myself in my head, I was like, my shoulders are rounding, my back is probably rounding. This is gonna look terrible on camera. People are gonna go in on the comment section. This is gonna be really bad. But actually, looking back at it, these don't look so bad. My back is actually relatively straight. My core is engaged. I'm not rounding my spine at all. And yeah, these don't look nearly as bad as they felt. So I'm really happy about that. So again, that's why, it's very important to, whenever you can, try to record yourself doing lifts, especially if it's a complex lift and something that you're trying to work on in terms of form. Whatever gets quantified gets improved. And one way to quantify things is to record yourself and, get that visual feedback, especially when you're not working with a trainer that can do it for you. But yeah, now I'm going to start just going a little bit lower because I was just getting tired, and still focusing on, form and trying to see if I can get down there and just snatch the weight and just bring it up. These in particular didn't feel that great. But again, they don't look that bad, at least in my opinion. If you defer, let me know in the comments section. For a good while, 315, I was barely doing 5 reps. Not just because my lower body got weak, but just because they were painful to do, And again, through just improving my mobility and improving my form, these have become relatively easy again, and I'm just glad that I if there's anything that I don't when I'm 60 or 70 or 80 years old, if there's one exercise that I want to be able to do, if I can't do a handstand or a handstand push-up at that age, that's fine. But I want to be able to deadlift. I want to be able to deadlift a considerable portion of my weight. That's something I always want to be able to do. I can live without being able to squat, but I wouldn't be able to live without being able to deadlift. It's absolutely one of my favorite exercises, and I want to be able to excel at it for as long as I can. Even though I'm more on the calisthenics side of things in terms of my philosophy, it's just one of my overall favorite exercises. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There's something primal about just lifting weight off the ground and just putting it back down, and the efficiency of it, again, It's a full body workout whenever you're doing deadlifts, and you can feel that whenever you do the requisite volume. And of course, as you know, racking the weights after a deadlift is absolutely the worst aspect of the exercise, which is why I just chose to just walk that thing over to the rack. Screw everything else. But yeah, there you go. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section.